Hello, Pat Skeets here from meandmycricut.com. I am today going to do an album share, and this is a travel album from, it's on my website, posted travel album number 42, and it's Florida. We went to Florida for the winter before COVID. And so this is just before COVID started, and we had to leave early because of COVID. We got a text from our government that our insurance would not cover us in the U.S. if we didn't head home right away. So every Canadian had to leave the U.S., all the snowbirds. Anyway, so this is a resort that we were in. It's a timeshare type resort, and I found this beautiful paper, vacation paper, and it had all these little huts and things. We weren't in huts, but it was very tropical, so I loved it. So I used this leafy paper up top, a large print, and then this is a border print down here. I cut it off the paper and just used it as a border here. So placed my photos around and clustered these here. These were just different areas of the resort. Florida welcomes you. So I just called it our resort. I used a font that's script. So I think I have two favorite fonts. One is Billion Dreams. I can't remember the name of the other one. I think this is Billion Dreams. And then I squished the letters together. Make the spacing closer and closer till they're joined, and then I weld them, and then I can do the offset. Two of them, I did a brown and a black offset on this. So I created a title with, and it cuts out as a word instead of every individual letter. It takes too long. It's annoying to have to scrapbook every letter, glue them all. Anyway, I had these leaves are from a tropical collection of creative memories. I buy their embellishments all the time, so I had these leaves from that. So there's not much Cricut on this page, just my title. Just using pretty papers. So that's the start of our Florida trip. And so this is, whoops, if I could only grab it, sunsets. So we had a sunset in Florida. So pretty. So this is where we stayed. There's a big fountain there in the lake. There were alligators in that lake sometimes. They would remove them, but whenever they did find them, they would take them away. Anyway, here's the sun setting, and I found this wonderful image of sunset. I used a watercolored paper at the background because it's modelly, just like all different colors of the sunsets. And then I used all these colors. I just created a border, cutting 1/2-inch strips of the colors in that to create these borders. And then this is another sunset, or sunrise if you like, image. And I just made it huge across the whole page. And added sunsets and palm trees. Perfect title for these pictures. There's all the palm trees. So we loved that. That was very simple. These were fun to do. Very effective sunset. And then I have another one of sunsets. Okay, so let me see if I can line these up. There we go. So this was fun. These sunglasses had palm trees and a sunset in them, reflecting it. I thought that was so cute. So I used that image, and then the same colors I used in this sunset image that I found. And this one had palm trees with the sun. So, and I just stuck breathtaking on that. It was very pretty with the palm trees and that. So that was quite a simple page. Again, I used the watercolored paper for the background. And this is just a big black piece, but I did emboss it in tropical leaves. This whole thing is embossed, so it looks good. And I just added a sunset border here and there from Creative Memories, and there's another sunset colored banner just to dress it up a bit. Very pretty sunset page. I love these images. They make it fun. And now we have Downtown Disney. When we go to Florida, we'll go to Downtown Disney. It's something to do for the day, and it doesn't cost anything. And it's a place to go out for lunch. So we were with friends, and we just went to Downtown Disney. So this is part of that vacation paper, tropical paper I found. It's on white board. Beautiful fronds, very tropical, top and bottom. And then a beautiful corner of leafy fronds. So I quite love this paper pack. I think it's from Australia. Anyway, if you go to my website in Travel Scrapbook 42, you'll find these pages, and there's design space links for them. But I also describe them. I tell you what cartridge these different images are from, and I tell you where the papers are from, which pads or companies they're from. So you can get more detail there. There's a link below. Anyway, so I just cut out some leaves, the same kind of leaves that are here. I cut them out and spread them around in different shades of green. And then this paper goes with those leaves. So I made a big frame so that it would show around this very tropical picture of at Downtown Disney. I think that's where the boat is, where you can get on the boat to all the Disney resorts. We actually did that. I'd never done it before. It takes you to a few resorts. You can look around. And then I used the Monstera border punch from Creative Memories to I just backed it with black so it would show up more. Just give it a pop. And then there's my title, Downtown Disney. Just welded those letters together so they'd cut out as a word. Beautiful hibiscus flowers. It's just tropical. And then I added some pink enamel dots around. Very fun tropical pages. Okay, so we got off at one of the resorts. We took the boat and we went to one of the resorts. And this was parked outside a resort, an old wagon, horse-drawn carriage. So we took our friend's photo there. And that gave me a perfect thing to theme for the page. So I cut out a horse and buggy. Looks just like that buggy. So I just cut big medallions. This is a free shape in Design Space. So I used it. I've started to use more and more of the free shapes for backgrounds. They're just simple and pretty. So I used very nice, love this paper print, and I used it there and there to repeat it on each side. And it's a big, beautiful pattern paper, so it's great. Then I created, I did frames for both photos and did them the same, pulling colors from this paper here. And I added, this is a punch that I have that cuts out squares. So I used a part of the square I cut out for a corner here and there, and the other part I used behind here, just to layer things, to add layers. I then did, there's an image, so I did a cluster here with my Florida title, and then palm trees and tropical flowers, and another little cluster up there. So it's big, smaller, and small. Little palm trees there, I guess because it was too empty up there. I don't like empty space. Now, Oh, this is the boat ride that we took. These are sort of out of order, I think. So we did this boat ride. This is the one from Downtown Disney that takes you to the Disney resorts. There it is there. So, and there's the big balloon. So I did use Kiwi Lane templates here. I picked up a larger multicolored print, then a coordinate in a color from here, and another coordinate in a smaller print. So on a background that's from here too, I picked up bolder blue rather. So I just created the waves because it's on water. And then they had they had cars there that were boats. It was funny. Anyway, that was unusual. There's our friends. So I found an image of a boat that was covered like that, like this one is. So I used that image and put a few waves on here. And then I just embellished in 3 places with clusters of Creative Memories embellishments, because I rep them. I buy a lot of their embellishments. So I've started to do clusters in that. So anyway, there's a lovely one with a sailboat and let the waves roll in sort of thing. Some here's a whale tail in this cluster, and over here there's dolphins jumping. Anyway, it's all just fun. Downtown Disney's my title. And so they had their picture taken in front of that horse-drawn carriage, so we did too. So there's my husband and I. We did the same thing. Anyway, I found this pretty paper with a corner. So this is a coordinate to it. So I did different backgrounds. And then I used these 3 coordinating papers for Kiwi Lane here. Well, it's 2 are Kiwi Lane borders and then a solid in the middle. I did a wide border in the middle. Then I did a small border there and Kiwi Lane, this paper, repeated up there. So found a pretty frame here with leaves for this photo. And on this side I did a butterfly one because there were butterflies on this paper. And then I added embellishments, butterfly embellishments from a collection from Creative Memories. Just another cluster over here. Just very simple, pretty. These frames are beautiful. I love how delicate they are. They cut out nicely too. Pretty. And then so we went to an Irish pub for lunch in Downtown Disney. So this is pictures of the pub and a dessert that we ordered and the different parts of the pub. That's all. And there's our friend. So he was wearing a green shirt. It was an Irish pub, so that worked out well for me. And then I just looked for some Irish images and found a leprechaun and a beer mug and title, shamrocks, and dressed up the page on a great big border up top. That was quite simple. So, yeah, really cute leprechaun. So that was fun. And of course, at Disney, that restaurant had a gift shop attached because you have to shop everywhere in America. So this is pictures of the stuff in all the Irish stuff in the gift shop. So on this page, I did 2 pennants hanging. I cut those out, and then I did 2 cute leprechauns. I added freckles to them and little squiggles on their beards just to make them. They're so cute. They were fun to do. So I just used black paper, and then this is, I have an Irish pad, actually. So I used, I think it's authentique. It's all Irish paper and that. So this green check is from that, and so is this, because those are tiny shamrocks all on this. And then I found a pretty orange pattern to pop, like there was orange here and here. I just did something in the middle to create more interest. So I put that underneath the photos and just lined up these photos. These are cute shamrocks. And then I just used another banner like that on top. I lifted this one, put a shamrock on it. You wouldn't expect Irish pages on a trip to Florida. So we have, my husband has a cousin from Britain, and he goes to Florida every winter. So we met him in Florida and spent a day with him, tootling around. And so this is the beach, and I think this is Clearwater. Maybe not. Might be. Anyway, we drove with him for a day and went to a bunch of different places. So I used this beautiful paper. It's like from a mermaid pad. It's all coral underneath, and it's shimmer with silver. So anyway, I thought it was perfect for the colors in these photos. And just blocks of color. So here's a block here, rounded corners, and another block over here, and then this wavy paper, another block of it here, and then I did two borders with that same wavy paper. So I then cut out palm trees, because these are beach pictures. So I just cut out palm trees with sun. I found these in Design Space and I just love them, so I thought, that's it, I'm using them. So the only yellow on the page is the suns. It was a sunny day, so then I created a cluster with each of them. So there's my title. I welded the letters together. Ocean Breezes. There's embellishments from Creative Memories. Put it on a tag to anchor it all together. And then create another one here with a surfboard and bubbles and some plants, lily pads there. I did some enamel dots all around, and that was that. There's a cute corner punch I did on the photo. Look how blue the sky was. So I love this page. I think it's a beautiful beach page. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. All right, now we have another beach page. So this is just our cousin walking the beach, and there's a ship going behind him, a lighthouse, and a bridge. Some birds on the water. So that was, this paper is a corner print paper. So there's two different ones. So I used this top corner, and this probably goes like this, but I turned it around to use that up in this corner. I wanted the diagonals, and then I cut this page. The navy paper was a 12 by 12, and I cut it at a diagonal, and I put half here and half facing down. So it made like a racing stripe right down the page. I created this. I like creating titles and that, putting images together. So I found a couple of starfish images, and then I added some seaweed and the word beach life, and I grouped them, and then I did the offsets in blue and white. So by matting everything in white, it unifies everything. And then I found this beautiful seashell border. So pretty. So I just matted that in white too with the offset. And then I just added some seaweed, the same image there. I did them bigger for here. So I did a cluster here. I have 1, 2, 3 going here. So these are just, oh, there's a pelican floating on the water, a picture there. I just cut it out small. And then added background for it with just grouping driftwood, starfish, lighthouse. Happened to have those embellishments, and they were this lighthouse looks, it's probably that one. Very similar. And then some sailboats, just a sticker over here. Beautiful, beautiful beach page. I love that. Now here is, well, this is not the beach. It's Florida snowbirds. Yeah, we're all there for the winter. So I'm wearing a bright multicolored top here. So that's what gave me my color scheme for this page. So I found this paper. It's tropical. And so I used the shades from here to use these for Kiwi Lane. And this is big coastal waters thing, I think it's called. Great Big Waves. It's new for me. I hadn't used it before. So I repeated, this is a floral cluster, so I found a floral cluster in Design Space. And I did that up there. I used a border that's all kinds of beachy things right across the top of the page. The background paper looks like waves too. Some of these pictures are at the beach. I think this is Tarpon Springs. It might be. Sea Hag. Oh, no, I guess it's Sea Hag. I guess that's a place. So when I created this title, I used another starfish and then Florida snowbirds and then created offsets for them and grouped them together and added shell stickers and embellishments from Creative Memories to that. And this I cut, this is just a little doily thing. So I tucked it between the layers just to create interest. And this starfish image I repeated to make a corner and added some more starfish and words. Just created a cluster here with different things. So that's the end. Not the end. I actually have more Florida pages coming, but I just did like 10 or 15 at a time. So I'll be doing a few more Florida albums for you. So I hope you enjoyed these, and I hope you can use them. You can get the Design Space links to copy them at my website. So be sure to read the link, the writing below, and you'll get all the links you need. And join my Facebook group, please. I'd love that. Thanks. Bye.